Welcome back. The assassination of Haiti's president this week threw a country already in chaos into further turmoil. The United States is pushing the country to move forward with elections later this year, while some members of Congress disagree. I recently spoke to Haiti's ambassador to the United States about where Haiti goes from here. Do you actually believe that you could hold elections amid all the security concerns?
I believe the United States Congress supported elections in Iraq and Afghanistan, where the security situation is even worse than Haiti. And what we have in Haiti is not civil war. What we have in Haiti is gangs. We have a gangs problems. What we are seeking for now is to get more equipment, more means for the national police, so they can fight the gangs and they can root them out. Those are our problems. Our problem is the gangs issues. It's not a civil war we have.
Has the United States currently not provided enough support to the Haitian National Police?
I cannot say that. What I can tell you that we need, they can, it's very important for them to give, to help them and to strengthen much more the national police and terror, because the cooperation between the national police and the US, they have been very great, but we need more. We need more efforts needs to be done in this area because the national police needs assistance.
Well, is it just a matter of the national police? You're quoted in the Washington Post today as discussing the need for more support for the army in Haiti, for the armed forces, not just the national police.
Absolutely.
The national police can't do it by itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because listen, first of all, I need to tell you that Haiti has in its DNA the army. The army created the nation. Therefore, it was a disservice to Haiti when they dismantled the army. I understand that our armed forces committed some serious violation of human rights, as it happened in Chile, for instance. But they reorganized themselves and they keep their own national army. This is what we should have done.
Well, should there be some sort of interim force? For instance, we had the Blue Hats, the UN was there for a period of time, the United States was there for a period of time. Should there be an intervention? Do you think that you need foreign forces in Haiti to provide stability, either the United Nations, OAS, or American troops? Are you asking for that?
Let me be frank with you. As a Haitian national, as a Haitian citizen, I will not be proud to talk about foreign troops on my territory. It's not going to be good. I mean, it's not something that I'll be happy to see. But on the other hand, there is a flagrant reality. There are security issues. The security apparatus is being weak. The national police themselves cannot do the job because they are overwhelmed. And the gangs tend to have more weapons than the national police. Therefore, I don't want to talk about occupation or intervention, but I think we can talk about the technical assistance from the United States or other countries like Canada.
Currently, there's no functioning parliament. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court died recently of COVID. You have competing interests as to the Prime Minister. How can you think that you can hold elections given the rampant security issues, the kidnappings, the violence, the murders, all of those things? You say it's not a true civil war in the way that we classically think of one, but the country is not a secure and safe place, is it?
Oh, I wouldn't tell you that. I wouldn't tell you that the country is safe and the way it should have been. But what I will tell you that in the face of such uncertainty, for instance, after assassination of a president, I believe it's very important for the nation to heal. But for the nation to heal at the same time, it's very important to assure the continuity of the state. I understand that it will be the most important, it's in the most interest of the people, for instance, to make sure that all stakeholders meet and sit to discuss that. Because I said that already yesterday to many of my interviews I made. Let us use that unfortunate event, the assassination of the president. We are in a state of shock, but let us use it as Haitians. Let us use it as a point of unity, of reconciliation. We can sit together to discuss the future of this country. That's one of the reasons I do not think the current government, the current prime minister wants to go ahead by himself. I think it's very important. He wants to have other stakeholders to come and sit down with him and discuss. And this is the way forward. And this is the only way we can establish, we can at least see in the future to see how we can move forward together. Because it's very important to hold elections. It's very important to have a new parliament. It's very important to have a new president. But at the same time, it's very important to pull ourselves together. It's time to have that political accord. We can have it.
How should President Moise be remembered?
He should be remembered as a very patriotic guy who loves his country, who has worked very deeply, particularly for the rural areas, for the forgotten. That's the way he should be remembered, as a guy of vision. He wanted a lot of things for his country, but unfortunately, it seems he was misunderstood. But one of his legacy was to bring the state to the forgotten, leave the capital and go to the countryside, to the rural areas. Those people who've never seen electricity since the independence of the country. He gave them electricity, he gave them a way to understand. They also have a right as a citizen. That's the way he should be remembered.
You said he was misunderstood by many. He was disliked by many as well. Why do you think that was?
But listen, this is politics. In any country, politicians or president or prime ministers or ministers, you are loved by many, but you are loved and disliked by many as well. So that's the dynamic of democracy. That's the beauty of democracy. You cannot expect that everybody to love you. But therefore, the most important thing is, even though they don't love you, you have to consider all of them as citizens, and you are the president of everybody. And that's the way he considers himself, even though there are certain people who didn't like him, but he always said that I'm the president of all Haitians.
You may not be loved by everybody, but to be assassinated takes it to a different level. I come back to the question. I know that you're hesitant to try to respond, but I do want to try to get some understanding. Why do you believe he was killed?
That's the same answer I'll give you. I'll say that I don't want to speculate over the investigation. And secondly, that it was known by President has some political enemies. But now the investigation will shed a light on this. But that's why I don't want to speculate. I don't want to go forward. But let us wait for the investigation. Hopefully, those in custody will be able to talk to the police, and the investigation will go on, and we'll know exactly what happened.
We'll be right back as we remember the victims in Surfside.